rate for fiscal year 2013-14. You should have a resolution typed up for you. The mill rate is as we had discussed during budget season at 31.28. Yes, do you have a resolution, Mr. Kingston? Go ahead.
Whereas the 2013-14 budget for the town of Portland estimates that $4,560,925 will be received from the state of Connecticut. Without this, the mill rate would be 7.09 mils. Now therefore be it resolved that the mill rate for the fiscal year 2013-14 be and is hereby set at 31.28 mils. I move adoption of the resolution.
Second by Kathy. Discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Any abstentions? Carries. The next item. Hey, Fred. Item number 3. Again, this is an action that we take every year subsequent to the budget passing, and that is adoption of the non-union administration pay plan for 2013-14. And you also have a resolution for this.
Resolved that the 2013-2014 pay plan for part-time, specialist, seasonal employees, and administrative, professional, executive, and elected officials as outlined on the attached be and is hereby adopted.
Is there a second? Second by Ryan. Any discussion?
Question.
Yes.
Just please refresh my memory why some people are getting steps and others aren't.
They don't necessarily get a step. Some of them are perhaps on a step, but there is going to be no step change
Nice.
next year. What can occur sometimes is if there's more responsibilities, particularly for the youth services, they may, if they're supervising other workers, they may go to a counselor 2 or 3, 5, if they're an adult, and so forth.
Now our counselors 7 and 8 adults.
Typically, yes. But there is no increase to what's presented to you, other than on the back page, and Tom Robinson highlighted some of the changes. The dollars associated with the fire marshal, the deputy fire marshal, for the hourly wage is unchanged, but Tom estimated the hours and gave you an estimated monthly for the dollars that are listed there under the estimated annual. Those are budget figures, and the hourly wage is unchanged from the current year, but the estimated hours and the estimated monthly is something that's added so that you can see that in a clearer fashion. The fire chief does have a increase for next year in the stipend amount, and the training officer was not on the pay plan, and that is something that was requested and placed in the budget this year for the fire department. All other listed pays in this pay plan remain the same. There was one question from the Board of Assessment Appeals. They wanted to round up the numbers on the pay plan, the payments to them, but we did not do that. We left them the same. Should you choose to change anything in the pay plan at any time, you can bring it back up again. But the only changes from the current fiscal year are those that are in green or blue.
I have a question. The maximum on the back, that's just what, overtime? Is that how this?
No, the maximum would be the range for those professional employees. Some of them, Ryan, are at the top. Some of them are not. Many of them are not at the top.
action to change it.
Yeah, we would change it, because we would change all the numbers, so probably come back to you, just tell you. We would make the changes for the minimum wage. Some other ones might not be equally.
How much left? Mark left.
So, right now, you know, to this point, there was nothing official.
We left it the same because it's not officially adopted.
There's no one, yeah.
Fred?
Nothing.
Is it 875 I saw here, like before, is that the number here?
825.
$8.25.
The last number I saw was 875. Nothing is, that's the last number.
I think that was supposed to be in January. So we would have 6 months. Probably the lower amount in January would come to the higher. If that was to pass.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve the pay plan as presented this evening?
There was.
Okay, Kathy made it,
Yeah.
seconded by Ryan. Any other questions or discussion? As I said, if there's a need to, or there's something that you would like to change, we can't do that this time. We certainly have done that. Particularly if law change. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. The next item is number 4, adoption of other budgets. Once the general fund budget passes, we then know that the transfers and the actual budgets that you establish during the budget season will occur. So that's why we wait to adopt the other budgets. And someone would like to read the resolution?
Adoption of the other operating budgets for the fiscal year 2013-14. Resolved that the other operating budgets for the fiscal year 2013-14, as listed below and further outlined on the attached, be and are hereby adopted. Animal Control Fund, $119,896. Town Aid Road Fund, $240,766. Youth Services Fund, $266,100. Resource Recovery Fund, $390,594. Building Maintenance Fund, $70,000. Parks and Recreation Fund, $328,285. Be it further resolved that the capital improvement budget for the fiscal year 2013-14, as outlined on the attached, in the amount of $343,931, with $155,000 being town source funded projects, $41,000 water source fund projects, $47,000 sewer source fund projects.
Your attention, please. The line will be closing in 15 minutes. If you're ready to check out, please bring them up at this time. The computer will be going down in 10 minutes. Thank you and have a good evening.
And $100,431 other source funded projects, being is hereby adopted. I move adoption of the resolution.
Seconded by Kathy. Questions? Being none, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. The next item is a letter to us that came from the Economic Development Consultant, Mary Dickerson, is here tonight, and Sean Dwyer. And this is for your approval for a village district park plan. And Mary, maybe you just want to highlight a little bit?
Sure. I don't know how many of you have seen the area on Main Street that used to be the tennis courts. Do you want me to?
That would be better, that way
Sure.
our viewers can hear.
No, I have to ask a question
Yep.
before Mary starts.
Yes.
I technically own property that is technically
No,
in
you're
the
not.
village district. Yeah,
You do? On Main Street? On the
do I
village?
need
where the village district ends?
It ends at Middlesex Avenue, not the post office.
It contemplated going further.
It doesn't go, no, it's really where our current business district
I
is.
can paint my house without asking permission.
Absolutely.
Yes.
You'd like to ask permission, you can, but you don't have to.
Be glad to say.
How this came about is there's a number of grants that are available for towns that have designated village districts. And Sean and I have worked very well together. He's a big advocate of helping us really move the village district forward, bring programs downtown. And the area that's there now is not being fully utilized. The fencing is old. We really have gone back and looked. No major renovations have been done other than the playscape in close to 30 years. What we would like to do is work together for economic development and parks and recreation. And as these grants come forward, be able to apply for them. We would like to replace the fencing that's there with fencing that matches what's in the Carol R. Johnston report. So what that will do is create the same really effect from the bridge all the way up. So all that work that was done with the streetscape project, with the benches and trash cans, the same design elements will be reflected in the new fencing. Sean will be able to resurface the basketball court that's out back, but there's other things that need to be done besides that. That, again, would come from grant money. That would allow him to have some adult outdoor basketball programs during spring, summer, and fall season. Right now, they have indoor courts only. So this would allow them, and from an economic development perspective, it's bringing adults and families downtown. We'd like to make the playscape that's there more accessible for families. The one that is behind youth services is used all the time. So when school is out in the evenings, on weekends, we'd really like to make that more accessible. The other thing I've talked to Susan about is, and we really look at it as an economic development problem, is getting the message out when things happen. We've had so many storms over the last couple of years. The reverse 911 calls are great, but now that everyone has gone to digital phone service, when your internet is down, your phone is down. So you don't know where potable water is available, where there's electricity, where there's shower service, where the shelter is. We would like to create a village district center utilizing the front portion of about 45 feet. A green space with a sign that would be a message board just for the town. It would designate it as the village district park, but the sign would also be available for all town events. So in the event of a snow emergency, when we're having the Halloween downtown, things like that, just to let people know, and be a common gathering space, which we don't have now. Unless this plan is adopted by the Board of Selectmen and is something that the town is working towards, we can't apply for these grants. We have to have a plan in place and in process. So that was how Sean and I got together. We worked on the letter together. Both of our commissions have approved moving forward with this as a joint project. The next Main Street grant would be due in August of this year. So we would like to hopefully put in for some money for that. Sean has LoCIP funds and other money that he's using. So it's something we're going to chip away at together over the next few years and try and get the entire area renovated. So any other questions? Rob?
Yeah, I'd just like to give you a design. Betsy Smith and several other people on Main Street were concerned with slowing down the traffic and joining that program, Drive as Though Your Children Live Here. And I think we can also look at speeding. You know, the slower they go, hopefully the longer they stay in the district, the longer they start noticing our businesses downtown and start slowing down and enjoy our district instead of just using it as a pass-through of how fast you can get to the bridge.
And we actually, 2 years ago, the commission took that on. And I do have to say, we got fantastic cooperation from our police department. We had a group of Main Street merchants. Cavalieris was there, Frank was on the group.
Yep.
And we really got together and came up with some ideas. Being a state road, the speed limit is 35, which most people are not abiding by. But we really did have good enforcement, and I think that's something we need to do periodically, especially now with the Discovery Park opening again. We have a lot of kids that are not from Portland, so they're not familiar with how fast the traffic goes. They're not familiar with where the parking areas are. So I think it's something everyone can work on together, is really looking at enforcement. We've looked at marking the crosswalks, putting things in the middle, putting signs overhead, but being a state road, we have to get DOT to work with us on that, so.
All parking.
Yeah, it is, and that's what we're kind of hoping is as we bring more families and adults downtown, you have more people that are aware of that, but one of the other elements we're really looking at putting in here are benches and things, so that when people have their children playing, they see what's going on. They'll use our local restaurants, they'll come and sit and have ice cream. But the more eyes we have seeing the traffic, the more people become aware of their own driving patterns. So I think it's something we can all, integrate into that.
We had attempted to apply for this grant last year, but we could not because we didn't have an adopted plan. So I want to thank EDC and Mary, as well as Sean and Parks and Recreation for taking the initiative to put this together. Once it's adopted by us, then we can apply for these grants because we have a plan in place. Not to say that it can't change, but we're thinking ahead for this.
How much was the grant before?
It's up to $500,000.
Okay.
Sean, as I said, there's LoSiP money. He has a basketball group that's willing to do some private fundraising as well. So we could really be flexible as to how much we ask for.
Okay.
Our public works department can do in-kind work as well. So when the grant becomes available, we can kind of pick and choose which elements are going to be most important to making it, getting the most use out of it for the dollar. We may not need the entire $500,000. If we get a fencing estimate, it may be, we need $65,000 or $75,000. But unless it's accepted, we can't even make that application.
I think it's great. I love the idea.
Is there a motion to approve the plan as presented? Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion? Fred?
I'm just trying to get a handle on the plan.
And there's others, it's not just the Main Street grant, there's other programs available, but what they all require is your project to be shovel ready. And so working together, we really can look at grants that are for economic development, we can look at them that are for recreational development, because we've kind of formed a coalition to get it done.
One other question, not related directly to this, does anyone know whether the question came up on the speaker? Of course, if you have a state road, is there any mechanism that exists to have the town take over a section of the road, like the village district? Is it all or nothing?
I think Reggie can take over portions. I would imagine it would have to be somewhat logical, because when you take it over, it means you have to plow.
But I'm going to say, we don't want to take it over.
Well, I'm talking about, if we're serious about the village district and small traffic, that's one way to do it. You have to go. But if you don't have control, then you really, it's going to continue to that's not important. So I was thinking if the bridge up through Sixth Avenue, granted, it's an expensive town, and that's one way to ensure that we have control over the
The other item that I had told you I was looking into, and our town engineer is working with us, that is some areas on Main Street where there's
Your attention, please, the library is closing in 5 minutes. If you have any materials to check out, please bring them to the front desk down. Computers are going down now. Thank you and have a good evening.
looked in the area between Russell Avenue, no, excuse me, Spring Street and Co Ave. And we have a plan that's drafted. And in June, I want you to take a look at it to see if it's something that could be useful to some of those areas. It would be done by grant money, again, depending on whether we can acquire grant money. But I think it would be a help in terms of parking that's not available. It would be in the right of way, not on private land. That too, I think, assists in terms of safety. I don't know that it assists necessarily with speeding. I think a concerted effort on the part of our community, as well as some publicity about the importance of going the speed limit and being careful of pedestrians, and more activities in the area where people can stop get out and utilize services, whether it's restaurants or retail and other types of facilities. Even in the more northern part of Main Street, the Historical Society has applied to become a National Registered House. And they have received dollars for historical updates, renovations to their house. So there's a lot of good activity on Main Street, a lot of interested people, and the town is interested as well. So if you're ready for the question, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. And as you study this, if there's more that you'd like to add, let us know. We'll certainly contemplate that.
Thank you, Mary.
Sure. The next item is approval of the Weston Sampson contract. Now, this contract is for the Route 17 Recreation Sports Complex. We have gone through, we being members of the public, you appointed them to a study committee, and then you subsequently appointed them as a group building committee, essentially, even though we're not building, we are planning to build. And they interviewed several candidates for the engineering and planning of this project, and Weston and Sampson was the selected firm. And the contract has gone to our attorney as well as to our finance department and KERMA for insurance requirements. And we feel it is a very good document and hope that you will move its approval tonight for me to sign.
I'm not gonna do a reading.
So the motion is to accept the contract and allow me to sign it on behalf of the select. And I need a second.
I'll second.
Thank you, Ryan. If you look on page 10 of 18, you will see some of the tasks associated with this job. Field investigations, including surveying, topographic mapping, wetland survey, evaluation of environmental conditions, subsurface investigations, historical archaeological review, public participation, conceptual plan, irrigation, water supply assessment, potable water supply, development, storm drainage, site electrical, wastewater disposal, traffic engineering, conceptual aquatic facilities, architectural design, which would be for a pavilion for selling food and concessions, landscape architecture design and preliminary design plans. The contract is not for the entire amount of the grant, and we hope that based on the work with the committee, we will be able to come in at or below the number that is here. That's our hope. If you're ready for the question. I will also tell you that this coming, I think a week from tomorrow, there's going to be a site walk with Weston and Sampson and Parks and Recreation. If you'd like to join us, let me know. I'll give you the time. I think it's in the morning, actually. But there will be more site walks as well. All in favor? Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Thank you. I will sign that tomorrow. Next, we have Joe McQuaid, our labor attorney here tonight, in terms of the ratification of the union contract for MEUI clerical and supervisory employees. Hi, Joe.
Hello, Susan. Hello, everyone. When Susan and I negotiated a contract with the clerical and supervisors union, which covers about 50 positions. You'll recall when you rolled over the contracts the last time, the wages were 3.25 for the last 3 years plus steps. In this contract, we contemplated a 3-year contract. The wages come in at a 0% general wage increase in the first year, although there is step movement. The second year is 1.75% increase with no step movement in the second year. Then the third year is 1.75% with step. And so that is an improvement over where we've been. Also in the medical insurance, the health insurance, we have some plan design changes and an increase in the cost share for employees. So that is designed to result in cost savings in healthcare. Obviously, it's a brave new world in healthcare with the Affordable Health Care Act coming into effect for 2014, most provisions. So healthcare, it's hard to predict exactly where it's going, but in this contract we're realizing savings. So under the statutory process, the first selectman, being the CEO of the town, has statutory authority to negotiate the contract. This board, as the legislative body of the town, has the task of approving or disapproving a request for funds, in this case, which is the increases going forward, as well as any changes in the contract that would be contrary to our charter. The changes in the contract are very minor and technical, so I don't believe there's anything new in there that would conflict with our charter. It's really down to a request for funds. So if anybody has any questions about the contract, I'd be happy to answer them.
Joe, are there any differences in health benefits in the co-pays or deductibles?
The co-pays have gone up. Generally, overgeneralizing, it's gone to a $20 co-pay, a $10 co-pay.
For what? Is that drugs or doctor's office visits?
For doctor's visits, most for services. So the plan design changes have resulted in increased co-pays. The premium cost sharing, which is something that increasingly common for all employers, it's a steady march. We're going up, so that also savings.
Do we provide dependent coverage also?
For healthcare, yes. Not necessarily for dental.
Well, good deal.
Dental insurance is kind of a misnomer these days.
At what cost is the dependent coverage? How much do the employees pay for that?
It depends on what you elect. So if it's an employee plus one, or if it's an employee
Family coverage.
Family coverage. It's all in the premium cost share. Going to correctly.
Is it in the contract?
It is.
I can look it up, but it's all right.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah, they pay 13%.
It's about a 5%, 5 to 6% swing between single and family.
So,
I have one last question. You said in the years where we have step increases, do you know what that equals to as a percent of the wage structure?
if we include the steps and all, Tom was kind enough to do some calculations. Over the length of the 3-year contract, it would add up to a total of 4.8%.
The steps or the steps and the raises?
Steps and raises. So the dollar total increase is about 38,000 over the length.
Over the 3 years.
Good job.
have. I would echo that. We work cooperatively,
Very,
keep
very
costs down,
fortunate.
up to the roof.
That's great.
Employees did a nice job. Gil Foresco is the union rep that assists as well. So is there a motion to?
I have a question.
Yes.
Just on getting back, I'm looking at the beginning of section 10 of the business. Was that negotiated prior to the payments for negotiations? Was that something that was?
I'm sorry, Freddie.
Yeah, I'm looking, I was just more curious about the section 10 and the fact that when one union rep is negotiating a contract, they're paid for that time. Then it goes through and mentions a series of situations where the union representatives get paid for negotiations. I was curious as to whether that was a negotiated thing or is it an agreement that.
Talk about page 3, Fred? Page 3,
Page 3,
section 10.
section 10, union business.
Oh, yes. Sorry. Now I'm on the right page. Yes, this language was bargained long before Susan or I had any involvement in the negotiating process. It's one of those things that is difficult to, like many language changes, once they go into effect, it's difficult to get rid of unless you're this is one that has existed for quite some time.
We generally hold the negotiating sessions during work.
Okay, so it's been there. So whatever that cost is that accumulates, it's there. I would have to, if there was a change, then I would have to negotiate it out.
Absolutely.
The other question I had was, just in reference to the pension part, that I assume is also, the pension is considered a negotiable item.
It is. Generally, Portland, excluding the police pension and the firefighter, volunteer firefighter pension, we negotiate that. If I remember correctly, the pension negotiations are up next year.
I'd like to say something about that, actually. I'm hoping that when we do talk about pensions, we can maybe make a provision so that if you are later convicted of a felony or some aspect,
Talked
you no
about that.
longer would get a pension. I feel that would be something that's to consider.
Next year, right, Joe? We certainly will. Thank you for that reminder. I know you talked about that before. Good. Is there a motion to, is it ratify?
Yeah, I move that the collective bargaining agreement between the town of Portland and municipal employees union independent, local 506, SEIU AFL-CIO for clerical and supervisors, July 1, 2013 to June 30, 2016 be ratified.
Thank you. Any further questions? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Thank you. And thank you, Joe, for your help. And the next item is to set a public hearing date for the Neighborhood Assistance Act application. I actually received one application from Zion Lutheran Church. You'll remember we had a presentation and a public hearing to notify people of this possible participation. And what we now need to do is to have a public hearing date for the application for the program. So I would suggest that we have at the same time we're having another public hearing on the topic of the proposed fee increases for vending, peddling, hawking, soliciting, etc. And that's Wednesday, June 19th, 2013.
Do we have
this one could be at 7:15. Is there, but that same night I think would be good, and then we can consider participation in this program for that application. Is there a motion to approve a public hearing for Wednesday, June 19, 2013 at 7 p.m. here in the public library on this topic? Is there a second? Motion made by Carl,
Carl.
seconded by Ryan.
Did you say this one was at 7? Sorry.
The one at, for
This
the,
one's at 7:15.
yes, the vending, peddling, et cetera, is at 7. And this one will be at 7:15. To give people a little time to get here. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. The next item we have is an executive session on land acquisition, and I have two guests tonight, Amy Valancourt from Ty and Bond and Mary Dickerson from Economic Development, and Tom Robinson from Finance. I wanted to discuss some topics in terms of potential of land acquisition in executive session. Is there a motion to end the regular session and go into executive session? Moved by Carl, seconded by
Right.
Fred. All in favor?
Aye.
No opposition, so at 8:10.